Often when we're looking at the scriptures, we will see there are pictures and descriptions of massive numbers of people celebrating in heaven or having banquets or singing. Think about it. Revelation chapter 7 and verse 9, for example, John looks down and as he writes, he says, I can't begin to count the number of believers that are here. They're from all nations and languages, people groups. And so someone might say, but I'd like to know, can I have a one-on-one time with God? I mean, God is the God of nations, and He holds the world in His hands, and we know that, but does He care about each one of us individually? Well, not only do we realize that our salvation is a decision made by us, the individual, but we look through the Scripture and we see different passages where we are reminded once again of the personalness of God, how He cares about each one. Think of it, Genesis chapter 21 and verse 17. Whenever the little one with Hagar is suffering, it says that God heard the little one crying, and there was a deliverance made for that. And I think about Jeremiah chapter 12 and verse 3. When Jeremiah says, you know me, Lord, you see me. He's talking about the individual. Now that carries on into heaven, and that's exciting to be able to know when we talk about that, because we can know that the Lord is looking at us not as a mass or as a nation, but us. Give you an idea. In 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 10, the believer goes to heaven, goes before the reward seat, and it tells us that each one will receive rewards based on their individual service. While here on earth, the believer's promised that. The believer is also promised, when we think of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 8, we're reminded of that. We may work together, the scripture says, but each one will be rewarded by his own work. He will receive his own reward by his labor. Then we think about it in Revelation chapter 7 and verse 17. I think a lot of people are very familiar with this passage, and it comes up twice in the book of Revelation. Revelation 7 and verse 17, Revelation chapter 21 and verse 4, that God will wipe each tear from the eye. This is not saying that He's going to have a whole blanket judgment or relief from things, but the emphasis is God will wipe away every tear from each eye. It emphasizes the individuality. So again, just as we have come to Christ individually, we don't get saved by a nation or a neighborhood. We make our own decision. When we have come to Jesus Christ through salvation, we have made this decision on our own. So will we be rewarded, recognized, and walking with God one-on-one in heaven.